And you are now behind enemy lines. Hey there, how you doing, everybody? Gene Berardelli, Ross Galloway here with you, albeit a little late if you're watching live. What's going on, man?
What's the story, man?
Well,
I missed you this week.
You told everybody in the chat that you left me in the bathroom with 3 squares. I don't know what that's all about. You were like hundreds of miles away. I don't know what the deal is there.
Stop lying to them. I walk right in that room right now. We share a 2-bedroom on the Lower East Side.
Oh, sure we are. We got a good show for you guys tonight. There's a lot going on in politics. I don't know if you saw that Tim Walz and Keith Ellison were in D.C. fighting over fraud and whatnot. And there was actually a member of Congress saying, why are we having this House Oversight Committee? This is a waste of our time. It's a waste of time to talk about fraud? Okay, then.
Great, right? One of the few things they actually should be holding hearings on.
I mean,
I gotta be honest with Gene, I felt bad for Tim Walz. Am I the only one?
You might be. You might be.
Oh, he's in over his head, man. Like,
you might be. Hey, look, I just saw that we're working, so I got to load my phone here for a second here. I'm all disheveled. Everything is like coming at us too fast here. But
it's that new opening, bro. It's too quick.
It's not the new opening. It's I ended up being behind because of work, and I got home late, and my camera isn't even set up right. I got to fix the camera up here. There we go. That's a lot better here. And it was just, life coming at you pretty fast. That was pretty much it. Rick, I see him in the chat. He can get in here anytime he wants to. I sent him the link. I think that he is just trying to make it look bad.
Jazzy Jasmine Crockett, who fits right in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to be talking a lot tonight about the results of the primaries that occurred last night as we're taping this, that occurred in Texas, in Arkansas, in North Kakalaki, and what they may mean for the rest of the nation going forward. And hopefully as people start rolling in here, we're going to be able to discuss what we think are the tea leaves that you can read from this primary season, the first of the primary season. But before we get to everything, folks, of course, if you're watching us right now on YouTube, on Rumble, on X, wherever you are right now, be sure to like the stream wherever you're watching. If you can, subscribe to the channel that you're watching this on right now. And especially if you're on YouTube, hit that like button, because the like button is going to be helping us out in spreading the show's message and all this other stuff here. See, the trolls are showing up early already. Listen, you still can't date me, so it doesn't even matter. Come,
yes.
Yes,
See, this is what happens, by the way, Gene. You tell people to fucking hit the like button, and then these morons come back.
Do it. I want them to do it. I want them to like us too, because they'll be helping spread the message out here about how much they're losers. I mean, hey, it's cool by me. You know what? I love our trolls as much as I love our people, our fans, really, people that like us. Speaking of people that like us, let's bring in Rick.
So I want to thank you all for being here. And now, who am I introducing next? Who's next?
Rick Robinson, how you doing, pal? I didn't hit the mute button this time.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah, from one gay bearded homosexual to another. How you doing?
Hey, I'm not gay. I'm just happy.
Oh, that's what they all say.
I mean, do you really do you need to like preface it with gay if you're using the word homosexual? I mean, we got it.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I'm just proud that Gene finally came out of the closet. We've all seen this for a decade.
Well, actually, see, people don't understand. We're not that, although there's nothing wrong with that. I prefer to be called moron.
Yeah. Is this moron number 1? Put moron number 2 on the phone.
Yeah, Jimmy, he's right here. Hold on.
I feel bad, Gene. Gene,
why?
When you play that, you leave Rick out. Like, there's no moron number 3 in that clip.
I'm fine with that.
Talk to the producers of Midnight Run. They decided not to do that. So
I'm fine that they're not moving more on number 3. That would make us know the Three Stooges anyway. So.
Well, no, he's just honorary moron. Hey, Lance, glad you're here with us. Thanks for checking us out.
Wait, gentlemen, here.
Oh wait, I see a dare in the chat. Play my song. I dare you. What is my song? Which song?
That's a fair question.
Which song are you referring to? Staying Off the Grid. What's your song? I'll see if we can play it for you. You're daring me. I don't back down from a lot of dares. If it gets us demonetized,
copyrighted off.
Oh, whatever. I'm not going to worry about that. So, I you know what? We've done our little bit of banter here. It's time to get into the show.
I can go. Let's get in.
Let's fuck it. Let's do it live. So, last night was a pretty good night if your name was Donald J. Trump. With the exception of one candidate who they're still counting votes to see if there's going to be a runoff or not. All of Donald Trump's endorsed candidates from last night either won their primary outright or are in a runoff. That includes 7 out of 11 candidates who don't hold office and are challenging for an office this cycle. And the only one that isn't in either in a primary or runoff is up by 27 points. So we're just waiting to see if they break the 50% threshold that you need in Texas. But Ross, a hell of a night for the president and all of his candidates that he endorsed.
Yes, sir. I just hope he's not about to make a big mistake. And I know we're going to talk about it next, so I don't want to spoil it. I know that Trump loves to get involved in primaries or elections, especially when he knows that the guy he's going to pick is going to win. And he usually picks, he usually gives the people what they want and picks the MAGA candidate. I just hope he keeps that streak alive and doesn't do something really dumb in the coming days.
And of course, we're talking about the Texas Senate race where there's scheduled to be a runoff between John Cornyn and Ken Paxton. But before we get to that part of the discussion, Rick, what do you think about all these check marks you're seeing on the screen right now?
Hang on. I was promoting, so I wasn't paying attention.
I'm sorry. You can always promote the show. Right now, the only one who isn't either under the win column or the runoff column is Jace Yarborough, and that's because he's leading, but only 49% of the vote in a race with 29 different candidates or something like that. I don't know. I think it's just 9 different candidates in the GOP primary for the 32nd district in Texas. But other than that, it looks like Trump's people, including a former New York Yankee, and I don't have to like it, but it is what it is, all won their primaries or are heading to a runoff.
Yeah. And
yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Rick. Yeah.
I was going to say it was a solid night everywhere. And I have a bad feeling about one of the Texas runoffs, though, because I think Trump may be about to pick the wrong guy. But
okay, so you both have alluded to this now. So let's get into
it. Before we go there, Gene, I know we kind of pushed you into that, but I did want to just say something with this screen up. A lot of people involved in party politics, and it's actually being said about our next topic. It's not good. It's not healthy for the party to have primaries. Like, that's so fucking wrong. Of course it's healthy for the party to have primaries. This is our chance to get rid of rhinos, right? You don't get rid of them in the general election, or you wind up with someone. Thank God it's not going to be Jasmine Crockett, spoiler alert, but you could have wound up with someone like that, right? Same thing with the presidency. Sometimes you have to hold your nose and vote for a Mitt Romney, God forbid again. Hopefully, because I'll tell you the truth, like I've said this a few times, I'm a Trump guy, not really a Republican anymore. We have to clean house. You do that in primaries. In 2028, if there was a nominee that I absolutely thought was a rhino at the top of our ticket, which I don't think that's going to happen this time around, but I knew we would at least keep one house of Congress, I probably wouldn't vote for that Republican. I just wouldn't vote at all, wouldn't vote for the Democrat, but who cares? Let them have the fucking White House. As long as we have one house of Congress, we could theoretically slow them down, right? We can't keep sending rhinos. We got to fix this in the primaries so we don't do this in the generals.
And I get all that. And by the way, folks, if you're in the chat and you agree with what Ross is saying, let us know you agree. Let us know you disagree. Hit that thumbs up. Let's see if we can get 30 likes on this video tonight on the vertical stream, on the horizontal stream. If we get it total, that would be pretty damn cool. But we've been dancing around it for a little bit now. And the big marquee race for the GOP side of things in Texas was the race for Senate between John Cornyn, Ken Paxton, and also Wesley Hunt. Congressman Wesley Hunt joined the race a little late. And it turns out that Wesley Hunt was playing a bit of a spoiler role that may have resulted in this runoff, Rick. What do you think about Wesley Hunt's role in all this?
I think with as late as he came in, I think he was somebody's nudge to give them a shot to stay in it for a runoff, if I'm being honest. But the thing that concerns me is with the other side basically already knowing who their pick is, if we go into a runoff, we're burning what could potentially be hundreds of millions of dollars that could be used elsewhere, which is why Trump made the announcement today that he's about to make an announcement and say who he thinks should be the pick, and whoever he doesn't pick should just drop out. My concern is
and actually, John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, was discussing this on Fox News. Let's take a look at that clip.
With the president already today about Texas, and I'm certainly hopeful. I think, as probably you know, Martha, I've made no secret of the fact that I hope the president will endorse John Cornyn. He is an incredibly effective senator for the state of Texas, a strong conservative voice here in the United States Senate, and represents by far our very best hope of making sure that Texas stays red in November in that Senate election. And so we'll see. Ultimately, the president, he makes his own decisions, but I've certainly weighed in many times, I should say, in support of Senator Cornyn, and I believe he is not only going to win the primary, but the general election in November.
Yeah, I was just watching Matt Whitlock, who used to do the Republican Senate committee. He said he believes that an endorsement for Cornyn is coming from the president. You said you just spoke with him. Is it coming shortly, that endorsement from the president?
Well, I'm not going to characterize the conversations I've had with the president, but I think it's fair to say that he's paying a lot of attention, and he knows full well, Megan, how important it is that we hold Texas in Republican column, Republican hands. And so I expect you'll be hearing from him before too long. And I'm not certainly going to get ahead of that, but I'm just very hopeful that the endorsement will be for John Cornyn.
All right, we'll be following that. And
Okay, so we'll be following that as well. Galloway, you've already declared for D's in the chat. So if D's doesn't make it to the runoff, who should Trump be picking?
Trump should stay the fuck out of it, right? If you look at the results in that race, it was 41 to 40 or 41 to 42 with, Hunt with a handful of votes. Those Hunt votes are not going to Cornyn, right? He's about to make a mistake, I think. For real. Let Texas decide this. Don't forget, Leader Thune took the leadership from another guy who was competing for it named John Cornyn. Cornyn is closely allied with the Mitch McConnell wing of the Republican Party, right? He's an old rhino loser, right? So we don't need, plus he's old. Like, I have to stress that. Cornyn's pictures that you see online or that the headshots they put out there are from like 20 years ago. This guy should be retired before he winds up like Mitch McConnell, right? He has no business being in a leadership position. Definitely not the senator from Texas. Hunt would have been an excellent senator too. Trump should stay out of it. He's about to make a big mistake.
Well, Hunt's, as we look at the results, at least from the New York Times, I know, whatever. Galloway's correct. It's about 42 to 41, with 13.5% going to Hunt, about 292,000 votes that didn't like either of them, Rick. Should Trump get in the middle of this? And if so, who should he pick?
Well, I, for one, think he should stay out of it. I mean, I don't know how much you guys know about Cornyn, but he's one of the guys pushing for amnesty. And if Thune wants the dude, I don't. I'm just being serious. If that's the guy Thune wants, that's the last guy I want in the Senate.
Well,
because I don't trust Thune any further than I could throw him anymore with half the shit he's pulled.
No, I get it. I get all that. Everybody hates the establishment, and
here we go. Gene's going to defend Cornyn. Let's go, Gene.
No, I'm not going to defend Cornyn. I don't like Cornyn. What I am going to do is throw out the political equivalent of a sports trade. And I want to know if you would take this trade. Let's say Cornyn goes to Trump and says, Mr. President, I know you want to get your agenda through this year, not only to help us win in the midterms, but also because it will help out your administration. Let's say Thune and Cornyn go to the president, because we know that Thune's aligned with Cornyn, and says, if you endorse John Cornyn, I will pass the SAVE Act through the Senate. I will be the one to help get it over the finish line. Do you make that deal? And I want to start with Rick.
Yeah, I mean, if they put something that heavy on the line, I might be okay with it. But let's face it, Thune doesn't have the sack for that anyway. So
we've established that Rick can be a sellout, and so now Galloway, would you take that deal?
That's not being a sellout. That's getting the SAVE Act passed. We need the SAVE Act. That fixes future elections for generations. That's not being a sellout.
But you just said that Trump shouldn't get involved, and that was your principles, and now you just threw that all to the wayside. But whatever, it's okay. I don't mind. You're pragmatic. It's okay. Galloway, are you as pragmatic?
Who's the senator from Maine, that other rhino?
Collins,
Susan Collins. Yeah. So that deal would never work. First of all, right? What do we currently have, Gene? 53 senators.
Yes.
So even if he guaranteed that he would, try to get the SAVE Act across the finish line, that would involve like either doing the talking filibuster or eliminating the filibuster. And I don't know if the Republicans, the rest of them, will go along with it. You're still going to have Murkowski hanging around. Collins is running for re-election. I just don't see it happening. They've already said they're not going to do it. And Mitch McConnell is around until he dies or until his election is up. So it's real tight. I know for sure Ken Paxton will, right? So if we can hold the Senate until after this midterm election, then we will get the SAVE Act, right? But I wouldn't make a deal to keep a rhino around that pushes amnesty, probably would never vote to eliminate the filibuster. This is the time. You're never going to get this again, this opportunity. Trump is gone. I want him to be king, like the rest of us, but he's probably not going to be.
I don't know, guys. I think I would take that deal. And again,
how can he guarantee the deal, though? So he'll say he'll do it. He's won. You think Rand Paul is going to vote for that?
Vote for the SAVE Act? I think he would.
No, eliminate the filibuster to do it.
Oh no! Listen, the filibuster, doing all that you can do and whatever with the filibuster, that's what Thune has to have a plan for. I'm saying that if he goes and he offers this and is able to do it, I say fucking do it.
It'll never happen.
Listen, I can take 6 years of Cornyn if our elections are more secure than they are now.
Don't you mean 6 more years of Cornyn?
Yeah, 6 more years. Absolutely. I can take 6 more years of Cornyn if our elections are more secure. Absolutely.
And see, that's where I am. The problem is there's no way to get it done. So Thune can promise that till the cows come home. He doesn't
There is a way to get it done. There is a way to get it done. And the way you get it done is that you become amenable to whatever amendments Collins, when maybe someone like a Murkowski would want. If they're things that you can swallow, then you do it.
Except there'll be things that we can't swallow because
but you're assuming that. You're assuming that. You don't know.
I'm assuming that based on past evidence, sir.
Yes, but again, if you're in an election year and Collins is going to be in a very tight election because you got the guy with the Nazi tattoo coming at her, she's going to want help. She's going to want money. And if she wants the GOP support for that, then it's worth it to me.
I'm telling you, Gene, the landscape, if we hold on in the midterms, the landscape is better after that because you get rid of Mitch McConnell. You get rid of Tillis in North Carolina, right? You get rid of Cornyn, hopefully, right? If we get rid of some of these dudes, we're in much better shape post-midterm than we are now. You're not going to get all these people, no matter what you give them. I just wrote down 5 names.
Who has a better shot of beating Tallarico? Is it Paxton or is it Cornyn?
I don't believe for a minute that Texas is purple or light red. The Republicans going to win, right? Paxton,
don't reframe,
you can't
don't
argue.
reframe my question.
Gene,
Don't
you're
reframe
falling
my
into a
question.
trap.
Who's got the better shot?
Let me just say this. To me, it's irrelevant. Any Republican's going to win. People act like Paxton never won a statewide race. He wins statewide races all the time.
Right, but his own party impeached him. Right?
Yeah, they don't have voter party registration in Texas. So you have a bunch of rhinos, like literally rhinos, because they don't register as Republicans, running around claiming to be Republican to get elected because Republicans are the only ones that can win in Texas. That's what I'm saying. I'm not worried about Paxton winning. You could have put me on that ballot and I would have won in Texas.
Okay, and you know what? That's fair enough. Let's listen to what Ken Paxton said recently on John Solomon's show in reaction to this runoff here.
And by the way, I spent $5 million versus 100, and there've only been 2 U.S. senators that I know of that lost a primary in the last 40 or so years because the finance rules are so rigged in favor of the incumbents and so limited for challengers. But it's I think Richard Lugar lost and Bob Bennett lost to Mike Lee, so it's a pretty unusual thing to take on an incumbent and actually do well against them, and we're going to do really well in the runoff.
So when you look at the vote, 60% of the people who voted last night voted against Cornyn, though he's been in office for a long, long time, 4 decades. What do you make of that? What message does that send? And what message do you want to send to the Republican base? President Trump said he's going to make an endorsement. Whoever he does endorse should drop out. I have a funny feeling you don't drop out under any circumstance.
No, I'm staying as.
And that's a very good point by John Solomon, by the way. So, yes, 60% of the GOP electorate did vote against Cornyn. But you could say the same thing about Paxton, that 60% of the electorate voted against Paxton as well. Can't you say that?
I mean, yeah, practically.
You could say 60%, but Gene, do you really believe, or Rick, either one of you, do you believe someone that actually went out and voted in Texas for Hunt is actually secretly a Cornyn supporter? Hunt is as MAGA as you
get.
I
think that they would. But I think they would be in a general if they're showing up in a Republican primary.
Oh, yeah,
they're showing
definitely
up
in a general, yes. But I'm saying in this primary, in the runoff, I think Cornyn hit his ceiling. If you go to Trump's Truth Social post, do it after the show, people. But go to Trump's Truth Social account and just see all the comments under Trump's post about possibly endorsing someone. I scrolled through about 300 of them. Not one of them said, Mr. President, pick Cornyn. Everyone's saying Paxton.
I hear that. But, Rick, one thing I want to bring into the conversation as well. According to the vote tallies, we had about 2.1 million people participate in the Republican primary and 2.3 million participate in the Democrat primary. If there's a deal to be made for someone here, shouldn't it be for the one that's won before? And again, I'm not agreeing with this necessarily, but I am playing devil's advocate.
See, this is my problem because I think Texas is losing its taste for Corwin, or the spoiler dude wouldn't have gotten as many votes as he got for one. Because Cornyn has won before. My other problem is typically turnouts for primaries are lower than generals, and we got outplayed by Democrats in the primary. So if we send up the wrong candidate and they're motivated, we're toast.
Well, I mean, we'll get into the Democrat side in a little bit here. Let's get a little more information from Paxton, because this might be all an exercise in futility, because Paxton said right before I cut it off here that he would not be leaving any race here. And let's go back a little bit to get that point.
Circumstance.
No, I'm staying in this race. I owe it to the people of Texas. I've spent a year of my life campaigning against John Cornyn because John has not represented the people of Texas well. He's sided with Joe Biden on Second Amendment restrictions. He's sided with Joe Biden on bringing Afghan refugees to settle here without vetting them. But he's been against Trump in both of his elections, said he shouldn't run last time, that his day had passed. And, of course, he fought him on the border wall. He's been an amnesty guy. Everything that Trump stood for, John Cornyn's fought. but he was a big help to Joe Biden. The people of Texas, at least the Republicans, would like something different.
And that may well be true that Republicans want something different this election cycle. The question becomes, is it too risky with someone like Tallarico who's trying to outflank conservatives by pushing a more progressive Christian bent here, which to me is kind of nuts, but it seems to be working because there's excitement, at least in the primary, if you look at the raw numbers of turnout, Galloway.
Yeah, for him to beat Crockett, he had to be like far left, but he really does believe these things. He said that God is non-binary, right? He's all about the trans stuff. Like, I'm telling you, we don't have to worry about him. He's worse than Beto O'Rourke, if that's even possible. I will tell you this. Maybe this is part of the deal. And Trump, he always tries to make these deals, but he floated the idea the other day of possibly, nominating Ted Cruz to the Supreme Court if a vacancy should open. Right? That's a big if. And maybe that's like the deal he has in the background. If he might think he can get Paxton to step aside, because if Cruz goes, he can convince Abbott to appoint Paxton to fill out the rest of the term. I have no idea what Trump is thinking. All I do know is this, the Iran thing and a few other things that he's done over the last few months pissed off some of his base, right? I'm ride or die with Trump. I don't care. But this is going to piss off a lot more people. If he goes for a rhino candidate that said January 6th was like an act of terrorism and he supported Nancy Pelosi's fake committee for the January 6th stuff, if he actually endorses Cornyn, it's going to hurt Trump bad. And Cornyn's not going to repay the favor and just fall in line and do things and call the end of filibuster. Cornyn's a douche, right? He's always been, always will be.
All right. I think we've devoted enough airtime for that subject. Let us know what you think in the chat. If you think President Trump should endorse John Cornyn or Ken Paxton, let us know what you think. And while you're doing it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Let's get to the fun stuff because it's time to dance on a political grave here. And I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett. We talked about on the other side of things how the Democrat primary was going between James Tallarico, who is a state representative trying to court moderates, and Jasmine Crockett, the firebrand, far-left, crazy liberal, who is more known for her personality than anything in her legislation. And just to give you a short example of that, you may remember stuff like this being filmed in the halls of Congress, dancing to Kendrick Lamar and all that stuff. Well, after this primary, this might be the new dance you'll be seeing with Jasmine Crockett here. Let me see if I can get this going. You want to get that? That might be the new dance coming down the halls of Congress because Jasmine needs a job. She got knocked out of her congressional district with redistricting, and she lost this primary bid. I just want to show that one more time because whoever made this, bravo, just tremendous.
I just want to know where they got those chicken legs from.
Right? Look at that. Look at the size of that leg. Gene, I did not think you'd play that. I'm proud of you.
Why didn't I play it? What is it?
That's definitely something I would play. I'm very proud of you.
Well, I did it. I did it for my friend. But let's get to some of the statements that were made during this this primary from Jasmine Crockett. The first thing I want to talk about is what happened and why she ended up running in this Senate race. Basically, for those of you who may remember from the People's Republic of New York City, I know that Ross and I do because we worked on the campaign for Congressman Bob Turner. After he won the special election to take Anthony Weiner's seat, he was redistricted out of his congressional district. They actually got rid of it because they had to get rid of a seat, and he ended up running for Senate because he really had nowhere else to go. So this is what happened with Jasmine Crockett as well, and she blames Republicans for this happening, and this is how she explained it on the news.
Yeah, so my district, what they did is they did a thing that we call, they packed my district up, and then they cracked minorities from another community. And so what they've did is they've increased the number of African Americans in my district. But while they were cracking out persons from another community and packing them into my community, they also removed all the economic engines, which is yet another red flag. This means that I don't have Southwest Airlines or JSX Airlines or Dallas Love Airport or Downtown or AT&T or Goldman Sachs, and the list goes on of amazing companies and corporations that I'm typically bringing in to make sure that we can talk about economic opportunities for the people that live in my district, including getting rid of the medical center in my district as well.
In response to this.
So basically, there's no more grift in her district. They took all the big money, they knocked it out of her district.
This is what I wanted to just ask you. So if I'm hearing her right, didn't she just say like they put more blacks into her district but cut out some businesses? So like,
yeah,
that should have helped her vote, but she's just talking about money and grifting, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
or did I hear
exactly
that
right.
No, you heard her
exactly
right. Yeah.
So we're getting some comments about Jasmine Crockett now. Hero, you got content. Okay, thanks. I guess fine, gentlemen. I appreciate that. We're always on the lookout for good content. No more Jasmine, says James Miller. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys who are in the chat are subscribing and liking the feed and all that. We really appreciate you hanging out with us, no matter what your opinion is here. So what also ended up happening was Jasmine Crockett was in this race against James Tallarico. She was the media darling, of course. She was making all the rounds, getting a lot of earned media. She's a national figure. She's, very bombastic. She acts in a manner that garners headlines based upon her affect of speech and based upon what she says and things like that. But it looked like the Democrats didn't want her in this race, that they already had settled on Tallarico. And one of the indications of that was a segment of the Stephen Colbert Show, the most irrelevant show in late night, because we all know it's going the way of the dodo, where Colbert marketed that appearance as the interview that Donald Trump didn't want you to see, blaming Donald Trump for pulling it down from the airwaves, because that's what was going on with Jimmy Kimmel and all this other stuff going on. And it turned out, at least according to Crockett, all those theories were wrong, and that it was Colbert and CBS that actually pulled the segment. Take a look at this.
Information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment.
Stop it 1 second and restart it, because it didn't sound good on my end, so I'm just going to restart it here.
We did receive information suggesting that the federal government did not shut down this segment. Number one, that is my understanding, that the federal government didn't shut this down, and we will do an official statement once we get another official statement that we anticipate is going to be coming from Paramount. All right, so we will read what they say, and then we'll go from there. It is our understanding that Colbert, either Mr. Colbert or CBS, decided that they would skip on Paramount, and this was because of fear.
Because of all the traffic and the planes flying overhead. I guess that's all the money that she was hoping to get for her campaign, because airports and Southwest and all the stuff she was talking about. But she was blaming a conspiracy brought by CBS and Colbert for the interview with Tallarico, and then not broadcasting it and putting it online instead. Galloway, at this point, we've been around the block a few times. The fix is in, right?
The fix is in. I mean, thank God on our side, we lost MTG recently. Now they're going to get rid of Crockett. If you remember, they got into like a fight last year about eyelashes or something stupid like that. I'm actually, first of all, it's the official position of our show that we are in favor of repealing the 19th Amendment. Let's get more women out of the out of politics and in positions of power. So now that we got that out of the way, I am a little disappointed though.
He waited till I was on mute to say that, by the way. Just saying.
I really do hope that this is not the end of Jasmine Crockett. I suspect that the Democrats are going to have, much like in 2016, a full stage of losers trying to run for president in 2028. And I really hope that Crockett throws her hat in the ring. Please, God, let her.
I mean, that would be fantastic. I'm writing a comment here. Just give me 1 second. I'm writing a comment to Fine Gentleman.
Is she going to be able to afford to run on a Hooters salary, though? So.
Wait, what was that, Rick?
Is she going to be able to afford to fund a campaign on a Hooters salary, though?
Well, she's going to have to stop getting her hair done.
Damn it. It's not Hooters. It's Popeyes.
No.
It's Popeyes. It's not Hooters.
I said what I said. I said what I said. See, there's a reason he wears hats.
Yeah, see, there's a reason why he wears hats on the show. That's the reason why both of them do. I'm proud of my baldness. That's why I keep it on. Fine Gentlemen, to your comment.
But I can't figure out the lighting. I get the glare.
Oh, boy. A lot of shine coming off that dome of yours, man. All right, so then primary day comes, and wouldn't you know it, Jasmine Crockett thought that she was getting cheated out of the Democratic primary, and she was blaming Republicans.
He stated,
well, of course she is.
We encourage each and every one of you to remain resilient. We cannot allow this type of behavior to be rewarded, because so long as they know that they can win, even if it means cheating, then they will continue to do it. So I am asking you, I am begging you to make sure that you go ahead and figure out where it is that you are supposed to vote, stand in line, wait in line.
And the whole grift there was that because the district lines have changed, every one of her voters are too stupid to know where to go, and therefore they're not going to the right polling place, and therefore the Republicans are cheating in the Democrat primary, specifically against her. So it wasn't that the Tallarico people couldn't find the polls, because apparently they were smart enough to, and found it in greater numbers than her people did. But it was a grand right-wing conspiracy once again coming from the loony left, Galloway.
Bro, they're deranged. But I don't know if you're noticing this. I'm starting to see a little bit of a shift in the Democratic Party. They're starting to move away from, the identity politics candidates, if you will, like the black female or the openly gay whatever, or the fake female admiral that was in charge of the health department. And now they're like going towards whitish males in primary elections and in other areas. I don't know if that's a trend in real life, or I'm just like cherry picking a few that I've noticed, but it's looking that way, right? And I think it's going to go into 2028, to be honest. I can't see them going straight identity politics in that election and thinking they're going to be able to win. And it's starting at the congressional level, it looks like.
Well, Rick, we were talking last year about how Democrats were spending, the DNC spent $20 million to study how to attract white male voters back into their party. And I guess that they're sticking with that plan, although they're picking people like Tallarico that are just plain bots. And for those of you who don't know what bots is, then, find some Italian friend and learn what it is. But, your thoughts on that?
Well, the scariest thing about Tallarico was a post I saw him put out earlier today about how, as a man with white skin, he is immune to the disease that our kind spreads everywhere. So, yeah, if that comment alone didn't shoot him in the foot in Texas, then Texas is in worse trouble than I thought.
He's not winning Texas. There is no way.
But it's just, I don't know. All of this is just insane to me. But, yeah, I mean, for the Democrats who are wanting to know how to bring white men back into your party, stop transitioning them. Be easy.
Wow. All right. If you agree with that, by the way, as we are talking about the results of some of the Texas primaries from last night, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss shows wherever you are. And I just want to show again, the conspiracy theory went into the night with Jasmine Crockett before she ended up conceding the race in the morning. And by the way, she didn't do it with a speech. She did it with a tweet, the most lowbrow way you could possibly do it. But this was Crockett last night as she was still throwing a fit over how this primary was going.
Gonzalez! y'all feeling?
Better than you.
So I just want to be clear. There's a lot that took place specifically in Dallas County. I'm sure you've been watching the returns, and none of the returns out of Dallas County are quite in yet. Dallas County should have the second largest voter participation of any county in this state. We don't have any of the results because there was a lot of confusion today. And so, you know, our Democratic Party chair, Cardall Coleman, he beat me to the punch, as myself and Colin Allred. We're about to file a lawsuit to keep the voting polls open. We were able to keep the polls open, but I can tell you now that people have been disenfranchised. The reason that we knew that there were problems the polls were supposed to stay open until 9, according to a court order. The Supreme Court, just a few minutes ago, just said, shut it down. The Supreme Court also said that they are to separate any votes out that came in after 7 p.m. So here's the deal. I have no idea how it is that clerks are going to know who was in line by what time, because the rule is that if you're in line by 7, then you get to vote. And so once there was a court order saying you had until 9, I'm sure that there were people that joined the line after 7.
By the way, is anybody else noticing that she has dropped her slang ghetto mentality that she would show in many of the viral videos that would be out there about Jasmine Crockett, how she was acting and interacting with Marjorie Taylor Greene that we had talked about, all of her outbursts in committees that we see. And now all of a sudden, she's back to, for lack of a better word, and I'm going to say it this way, speaking like a lawyer.
Right? She got the good weave. She got the she didn't put the long eyelashes on. Everything looks all right. She's dressed conservatively. She's not speaking Ebonics. Yeah. It's amazing when you try to run in a conservative state.
Yeah, it's such a different mentality than the DC mentality that she was exhibiting throughout her term in Congress, Rick. How do you explain it?
It's a common African American thing called code switching.
Okay. So you racist?
No, I mean, call me whatever you want, but it's the true thing.
No, it's something that is seen. I mean, the best example of code switching would probably be Hillary Clinton being no ways tired when she was on the campaign trail.
Yeah. Now, when white folk do it, that's when it's racist. Because African Americans, the reason they do it is because it's a survival mechanism. Because
Rick, you got to go to Brooklyn with Gene. He does it too. He's like, "You guys over there, what's going on?"
Hey, how you doing over there? Yeah, I listen. I'll do it.
By the way, Gene, do you know?
That's different.
I be dabbing people up and shit. Come on,
that's Italian code switching. That's different though.
No. When we would go campaign, I'd be dabbing people up and shit. Come on now.
Gina, I couldn't make out what she was saying. Where did the 9 o'clock thing come from? If the polls closed at 7, what was she saying about 9 o'clock?
Apparently, they had gotten a court order to keep some of the poll places open, and I think they shut it down at 9 o'clock, and they couldn't get any more time, even though, according to her, there were some people who were being denied voting and all that.
So what happened was somebody made a stink. They took it to court. The lower court ordered that the polls remain open until 9 so that everybody was there that could still vote. About 8 something, the court above them said, no, we're done. Shut it down and separate out any ballots that came in after 7 o'clock to be counted later.
Right. Now, normally courts would look at issues with campaigns and elections. And if there was a margin that was relatively close, and we've been part of these races, Galloway, in New York, they would examine and recanvass and do what needs to be done if there were any irregularities that may have affected the outcome. But I want you to look at the numbers here. This was not a close race. She's down, as we are recording this right now, 150,000 votes. This wasn't like percentage points. This wasn't, as Galloway and I have called it in the past, this wasn't a bag full of votes that was just found at the last minute. This
that's exactly why the higher court shut it down, because they said no matter what they found, there would be no way to close the gap. So there's no point. So they just said, no, just shut it down.
Yeah, and I'm just curious, like, if state law in Texas says that the polls close at 7, what could have possibly justified them staying open till 9 o'clock? Even if there was some, machine errors, if you're in line by 7, you get to vote, right? Somebody just has to go outside and make sure that no one else gets online if it's backed up, and they get to vote. I mean, is our voter base running that late? I mean, I know they have a reputation to do that kind of thing, but 2 hours late, damn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But whatever the case may be, there was a lot of votes coming out of Dallas County, 277,000 votes that were plus 19 for Crockett. But then there were other places like Travis County, which I don't know where that is. I'm not from Texas. If you guys can tell me, that'd be great in the chat. Where it was Tallarico plus 52. And that certainly offset whatever was going on in Dallas and other counties. If we go back to the map, it looks like a lot of eastern Texas where Dallas is and some of your major population areas are. Yeah, she was doing really well there, but Tallarico did well everywhere else, including on the border where there was a significant amount of Hispanic support for Tallarico. So this wasn't, if we go down here, okay, counties with more white voters, Tallarico plus 9, more Hispanic, Tallarico plus 22, and black voters plus 23 for Crockett. But look at the counties that cover these areas. I don't know what Crockett's plan was to win over voters other than what looked like her, but she clearly didn't execute it. I mean, we look at urban voters, even urban voters, Tallarico plus 6.
Which is actually very telling, because she's a left-wing radical maniac, right? But even the Democratic base is further left than she is, because I don't ever remember Jasmine Crockett saying things like God is non-binary or pushing the trans agenda, right? She's your typical, whatever Rick said, but she's like a ghetto black person that can clean up nice when she wants to, right? She pretends to be down in the hood. She's really not. She's a highly educated person with lots of money, right? So she ain't a hood rat. But she turns it on when she needs to. But she wasn't far enough left for the Democratic base, even in a place like Texas, which is wild.
It's absolutely wild. But, Rick, if you look at the numbers by county type, Tallarico plus 6 urban, plus 6 suburban, plus 7 rural. That equals, and we'll go back to the top of the screen and I'll show you, that equals a 6-point victory because it was across every strata of society.
Yeah, but if you look at the private chat, I sent you an article that has a video clip. This is what they were alleging, because they're actually claiming that people that were there to vote Democrat were being turned away.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what.
It's at the bottom of that article.
Let me
Always
stop
be careful before you pop a link open from Rick without,
I already checked it.
It was a one-time thing. One time I sent you a spam link. One time.
Listen, we already know it's not Pornhub, so we're good. So let me get this screen share going here. Give me 1 second.
Oh no, I get my porn from other places besides Pornhub now. So.
Oh, do you? Wow. Okay, put that into the private chat, and we'll let everybody know where he gets everything that he wants to look at. Apparently,
and the last female listener just clicked off of our show.
Like there was any to begin with, anyways. What the hell happened in Dallas County's primary election last night? This is from Town Hall, and let's see if we can read from this article what happened. State Rep James Tallarico won the Dem state primary election on Tuesday night. We do know that the snafu raises questions about how the county runs its elections, with some questioning the outcome. Crockett suggested the issue could constitute cheating and accused Republicans of targeting her district. However, on Wednesday morning, that is this morning as we were recording this, Crockett, in a post on social media, conceded the race. You see that here going below. The issue centered on a change that required Dallas County voters to cast ballots at their assigned neighborhood precinct sites. Gee, what a fucking concept. On election day instead of any voting center in the county. This shift left many showing up at locations where they could not vote. So in other words, Rick, if I'm reading this correctly, the issue centers around Republicans requiring voters to go to their assigned precinct to vote.
Yes.
And that's something they haven't been doing this whole time.
Apparently not. But yeah, so the big controversy is there's a video just a little bit further down in here that shows somebody basically coming up and being turned away to vote because of this new rule. And they're like, see, this is what's happening. They're telling me I can't vote here and I'm a Democrat.
Okay. Let's see if I can find the video that you're talking about. Is this the one you're talking about here?
Yep.
All right. Let me see if I can play this. Let me know if you can hear it, guys. And
I do it all the time, so it should work.
I'm going to see if I can embiggen this. Let's see.
You can once you hit play.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to copy the link. I'm going to put it into another window. And we're going to...
Gene, scroll it just a little bit.
Okay.
And just hit the
play on it.
watch on X button. Yeah, either hit play on it and then hit the embiggen or hit
I just
watch
witnessed
on X.
real life voter suppression in
Go
Dallas
down and it'll
County
get bigger.
today at Harry Stone Recreation Center. I want to make it very clear that Harry Stone Recreation Center and your staff had anything to do with what I witnessed. This is solely an issue with the Board of Elections, I believe. I was told by the poll workers that they were informed when they showed up to work the poll this morning that the location that they were at had been changed on the same day from being a location where both Democratic and Republican primaries could be voted on to a Republican-only location. The voters nor the workers were notified of this change prior to arriving at the recreation center to vote. The poll worker let me know that about 50% of the people who came to vote were not Republican only and had to be turned away. And so the chances of those Democratic primary voters going back to find another location to vote are slim to none. This whole thing is so shady.
So I'm going to call bullshit on this because, as we may have been discussing earlier, these primaries are not party primaries. You choose what primary you want to vote in. Texas rule states that, because there's really no party affiliation other than the candidates declaring themselves, that you can choose what primary you want to vote in, except for a runoff, you have to stick with the party you originally voted in the primary. What is this bullshit about? It's a Republican precinct house? I don't buy that at all.
Well, so this is somebody spinning it. So what happened was, and this is exactly what was being talked about in the article, these people used to just be able to go up to any precinct and vote as long as they could prove that they were in Texas. And now they can't. Now, because here in Oklahoma, I have to go to a specific polling place to do my voting. I can't just go to anyone because they don't have me on the rolls there. So that's exactly what's happening is these people that were used to just being able to go anywhere and go vote were being turned away because they're like, no, you have to go find your polling place now. But that's the entire thing of Jasmine Crockett hemming and hawing and blaming Republicans, but because Texas wanted more secure elections, so they're like, hey, you should have to actually go to your designated polling place so people know who the hell you are. Sounds like a plan to me.
So what you're saying is Jasmine Crockett's voter base was too dumb to know where to go and vote, and too lazy to go to the correct place after they might have been told. I actually don't believe it was true either. I hope it is, though. Like, I wish that we would do more stuff like this to fuck them like they fuck us on election day. But at the end of the day, they show up. First of all, shouldn't you look online or something, or you get something in the mail telling you where to go vote before you go vote? Do a little bit of research. And when you get there, they're like, no, sorry, sir. You go to the school that's actually really close to your own house to go and vote. You just go hit that on the way home and go vote. Right? Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah, folks, let us know.
So yeah, that actually happened to me. That actually happened to me once. Believe it or not, that actually happened to me once. I was supposed to have gotten a card in the mail that they had changed my polling place. So I went to where I always used to vote, and they're like, we don't have you here. And I'm like, I still live there. And they're like, oh, yeah, did you not get the thing in the mail? They moved you to go vote here. And I was happy because before I was having to drive like 5 miles, and I'm like a mile down the road from my house. I'm like, dude.
So you didn't just go home and say, fuck it, I'm not participating in democracy?
No. I have never not participated in democracy. But I hate to chat and run, gents, but I got another show coming up in like
All
4
right,
minutes.
and let everybody know what you're doing tonight at KLRN Radio on X, at KLRN Radio, at Rowdy Rick 73.
Well, here in about 4 minutes, it'll be the Rick and Woody Show with myself and my token Amish friend. Then after that, we'll be over in SHR Media Territory for Edge of Liberty. And then tomorrow afternoon, I'll be doing Thursday, I don't do a show anymore during the day. So tomorrow night will be Jen and Rick, 10 p.m. Eastern. And then Friday, all the usual stuff. Just feel free to check our schedule at klrnradio.com if you want to come hang out. But I got to bounce, gents. It's been fun, and thank you for inviting me as usual.
Always a pleasure to have you on, Rick. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
By the way, Gene, I don't know if you know this. When he's on his other show, he refers to us as his token Italian friends.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. That's what we should be known as. All right, we got a little bit of time left in the show here. I do want to mention Al Green.
Please. I was hoping we were going to skip over him.
Well, we're not going to skip over him, but honestly, there's no video of Al Green at his primary night saying anything about the runoff that he's now in. Apparently, his district was drawn out as well, and he's going up against Christian Menefee, who won a special election last year to replace a deceased member of Congress from Texas, and now they will be going head-to-head. And, oh, man, wouldn't it be doubly sweet for poor Al Green, the ultimate disruptor of States of the Union, to no longer be in Congress? That would be great.
Right? Back-to-back removals out of the State of the Union. This is another guy that, no matter which Democrat gets in there, I'm not going to like them and I'm never going to vote the way I like. I'd rather keep Al Green, too. I like him. He's a comical guy. He's a moron, right? But it doesn't matter who replaces him. They're going to vote the same way. Let's keep the character. He's a cartoon character.
Right. So Al Green, of course, he was displaced and put into another district. I believe in that runoff, he came in second, which is absolutely crazy considering he's part of the fixtures of the Congressional Black Caucus from Texas. And it turns out that he's going to have to spend some extra money and fight off a runoff. And the last one I want to bring up, and to me, this is chef's kiss. I mean, just Dan Crenshaw. Ooh. I mean, I think I said it to you earlier today. He got blindsided. He didn't see this coming. Apparently, that was oh well. He got beat by Toth, a state representative, and an incumbent under 40% from the last thing I saw.
And he's another one, Gene, that could not read the room for a long time. He's a big proponent of the Ukraine war and a bunch of other stuff that really didn't sit right with the base. He was never really a big Donald Trump fan, despite what he might have been saying leading into this debacle of a loss. And good riddance to Dan Crenshaw, right? This is the time to clean house, the primary election season. This is it.
Yeah, this is what you say it's for, right? This is why you like to see this stuff here.
I love it. I'm not losing any sleep over Dan Crenshaw, right? I don't even care if it's a closed district. He's a douche.
Neither is Matt, who says he's glad Crenshaw is gone. Steve Toth seems pretty solid. I tend to agree with that. And meanwhile, Black Dream Hunk 2, this is our demographic right here, I'm sure. The United States of America is racist. Of course we are. Sure we are. No problem. Absolutely. That's why we're spending lives and treasure overseas to liberate a Persian nation.
We're so racist that we got people. We're so racist that we got brown and black people from the entire fucking planet fighting their way here, right? I didn't see many Jews fighting their way into Germany during World War II, right? If we're so racist, why is everybody coming here?
It's a great point. We got through a whole show, pal, without really talking about the war. So this is the time of the show that we want to give to you, people like Black Dream Hunk and others out there that want to try to derail the show, this is your moment. It's time, once again, for you guys to bring it on. Where are the trolls?
We got one black dream hunk.
Well, so far, so good. Oh, he's saying this is why we have World War III. We have World War III because we're racist, apparently. You believe that?
He's not looking for the United States. Leave.
Let me see. I'm going to see if I can lower the music a little bit here. I don't know if I can, but it is what it is. We can do it without the music. Screw that. We can do it without the music. Yeah, we're so racist that we're liberating brown people all over the globe right now. Okay, Matt Lofton coming back and saying, talk to Dallas County about voting. Who is in control of Dallas County? Democrats. The Democrats. Yeah, they're the ones that took Jasmine Crockett out of the party. I tend to agree with that. We started that segment, pal, talking about how the fix was in. How it was in from the beginning, going back to the redistricting, going back to the Stephen Colbert episode that people didn't want you to see, that helped out Tallarico. And yeah, I think that the best move that Democrats could have done was not vote for Jasmine Crockett, because that is a guaranteed L.
Yeah,
in
so
a
this is what,
statewide race.
And this is why it doesn't make any sense. If she blamed the Republicans for redistricting her district and fucking her up there, cool. Yeah, that was the Republicans. But as far as like not wanting her to be the Democratic nominee, believe me, we didn't do that, right? We want you at the top of the ticket. I want her to run in 2028. Like, yes, we want you running. I wish she was running for Senate.
Yes. But I put this comment up on the screen from Soto. Hey, thanks for dropping a dime here and talking to us. They are coming because of capitalism. I can agree with that. And yes, even in that, there is racism. You, quote unquote, gentlemen, know this. Well, first of all, I am not a gentleman. I have no title of nobility. There used to be an honorable in the front of my name and the front of your name as well, Galloway, but not anymore. So now capitalism is racist as well. I wish I could roll my tongue and say it the way I want to say it, but I'm just doing it this way. But yes, capitalism is racist. We're all racist. Racist history, racist present, racist future, all this other stuff.
Yeah. We're the worst. Show me a fucking black, brown, or yellow country anywhere on the planet that would accept a bunch of white people just storming across their border. Show me.
Well, Black Dream Hunk 2 wants to know what's so great about the United States. What do we have to offer? Apparently, we are the best of the worst because everybody seems to want to come here and they see things here that they don't get wherever they may be.
And we won't keep you, and we don't hold anybody here. If you want to leave, I think you're Canadian.
Absolutely. Oh, I finally figured out where to lower the background music here. I can do it that way here, and I can put it back on. There we go. That's a little bit better. All right, guys, what else you got for us? Let us know what you got. Feel free to jump into the chat.
Matt Lofton is 100%. Matt Lofton's 100% right. It was the Democrats that wanted Jasmine Crockett out, not the Republicans. We wanted her in.
Absolutely. Here he goes. See, Matt, I hope you subscribe, man. I hope you like what you're hearing on the show because we like what we're hearing from you. Let them move to another country. We will see how fast they come back. I mean, Rosie O'Donnell's done it. Madonna's done it. Some of other people have done it. And their relevance in society has dropped to an all-time low for them. So I'm glad that happened.
What is the debt clock?
Well, talking about how much debt we're in right now. Oh yeah, that's a big problem because people are not coming here because of the debt clock.
Let me tell you something about the debt clock, brother. Whoever we owe that money to, here's our official response to them. Fuck you, come get it. We ain't paying you back. Right? We owe China trillions. Fuck you, China, come get it.
Yeah, and by the way, every party loves to spend, man. All those entitlement programs that every blue state wants to tout that they have, all the sanctuary policies they want to have, all the money that goes to waste, billions and billions. Yeah, the debt It's bad. We're not going to disagree with that. But you know what? It's also still the best system we have until the next best system comes along. And if you want to start a country, have fun doing it. That's cool. I don't mind at all. Yes, Matt says the 50% global tariffs start tomorrow. We didn't really talk about tariffs a lot in the past couple of shows, and we can certainly talk about it as news grows on that. Thanks for that dynamite drop in. Anybody else wants to? Oh, Joycelyn Gardner thinks our thumbnail is comedy. I appreciate that. I design all the thumbnails. Galloway doesn't do shit.
I don't know. I thought you were talking about something on my finger. I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Your thumbnail, right? No, I appreciate you noticing the hard work. It does warm my heart to hear that. So, listen, I think we've given people an opportunity to sound off on the show.
They suck.
We've been talking about the primary results in Texas. There were some primary results in other places, Arkansas and North Kakalaki as well. We saw Tom Cotton is set for a race against someone that looks like he's got a good shot of beating. And I think that we've talked about the primaries for a good enough amount of time that we can start transitioning over, no pun intended, to final thoughts, pal. What are you thinking?
I like it.
Let's get to that right now because I think it's a good time to wrap things up. And not only that, I have sources now, apparently.
Oh.
Yes, I have sources within the government.
Who do you
believe it or
know?
not?
I always thought you were fucking Fed.
Oh, stop it. I'm not going to go deep into who this is or anything like that or where they are in the government, but I'll just have you know that it looks like we are all in Iran and what's going on. And it's very frustrating, at least to a couple of sources of mine, how Democrats are responding to this. And it's not changing anything in the federal government or as far as the plans go and things like that. It is only furthering what everyone is working on with regards to Iran, and everyone believing that is working on what's going on in Iran, that they are on the right side of history. So if you thought that any resistance out there that started out with Palestinian flags, then traded them in for Ukrainian flags, then traded them in for BLM signs, and then traded them in for Iranian flags, is having any sort of dent in the resolve of the people that are actually working, whether it be State Department, Department of War, whatever it may be, just know that you are seen for what you are, and that you are fake paid crisis actors. And that's how I'm just going to leave that. And by the way, pal, just so you know, that's based on multiple conversations that I've had with people who are in the administration.
Yeah, my final thought was going to be on the war too. There's a good, healthy chunk of the base that basically is very upset that we, are attacking Iran, and I get it to a certain extent. But they're saying things like "no more forever wars." Trust me, this is not going to be a forever war. We're not storming the beaches. Yeah, a few times they've said they're not ruling out sending in ground troops because you don't say you're going to rule out anything in a conflict, right? So there's nothing to worry about there. The government was toppled. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. The country is destroyed, right? This is the more, really, if you want, libertarian way to do things. You don't like a government, you take it out. You don't rebuild the motherfuckers. And if they rebuild into something else you don't like, you take them out again, right? Every decade we could take out Iran if we wanted to. The War Powers Act resolution failed in the Senate today, so Congress will not be reining in the Trump administration or the military. And despite, if I was sitting in the White House, I probably would not have authorized a strike on Iran, to be honest. But I'll tell you this much, man. There's no love lost for Iran. They've killed lots of Americans throughout the years, including soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan with roadside bombs. And their official policy, ever since we've been alive, has been death to America. So fuck them. They fucked around and found out, and Trump ain't playing. If you didn't know, now you know.
I just want to end the show on this note here. This is a letter that was sent out from U.S. CENTCOM commander right before Operation Epic Fury was deployed. And I just want to read this because if this doesn't make you want to run through a brick wall for America, nothing else will. To America's extraordinary sons and daughters deployed around the Middle East. By order of the President of the United States, we are embarking on a mission of profound consequence. The time for preparation is over. The time for action has arrived. As we move from, I got to make this bigger because my eyes are just going, bro. I apologize for stopping mid-sentence here, but I gotta zoom in on this. As we move from deterrence into active combat, I write to tell you how honored I am to serve with you, the most exceptional soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, guardians, and Coast Guardsmen on this earth. Some of you are stationed in the Middle East. Many of you have deployed overseas on short notice. Others have been extended on deployment for this critical mission. You represent the strongest, most lethal warfighting force the world has ever known. You all selflessly serve our great country and make us so very proud. Since 1979, the Iranian regime has killed and wounded thousands of Americans, and they continue to threaten Americans and our friends. Today, by your courage and grit, you will change the course of American history. My guidance to you is simple. Be relentlessly lethal. In the heat of conflict, remember who you are. Let your conduct be as professional as your aim is precise. Take care of your teammates, the men and women on your flanks, in front of you, and those at your six are your guardian angels. Be theirs. Steady your resolve. Combat is inherently chaotic. The hours, days, and perhaps weeks ahead will challenge you. There will be noise and confusion. Fall back on your training. It is the best in the world. You are the shield of the free world, and today you are its sharpest sword. As the eyes of the world fix upon us, stay safe and Godspeed, Commander C.B. Cooper II. Now, I've never served in military. I've never been in the line of fire. I've never been in danger. But wow, to hear that, to just read that, pal, you've served. When you read that, what does that stir in you?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty badass. People forget our military is an all volunteer force. I know lots of people who are there currently. Just about all of them volunteered to be there. And granted, it was prior to the Iranian conflict breaking out. But why do you think we still have so many bases in the area? Right? We're not there to fight Israel or Saudi Arabia. We're there specifically for Iran and possibly Syria. Right? Those are the two countries that are bound to pop off, and we still have lots of young men and women volunteering to go. That's a great letter to the force, and I support it. Hua.
Yes, and regardless of whether you support the mission or not, you better as fuck support those brave men and women out there doing the job. And it's a long final thought, but I think that's it for me, pal. What do you say? You ready to shut this mofo down or what?
Let's get the fuck out of here, Gene.
All right, pal. Listen, folks, thank you so much for tuning into the show. Thank you for liking the channel. Thank you for subscribing. All that really, really good stuff. But we're going to shut it down and play our motherfucking anthem. We'll see you guys in the chat for the rest of the show. Good night. God bless. God bless America. Take care. Good luck.
We're not allowed, not without electro.
Go fuck yourself. Is that clear?
Teeth, don't let them have sway. more than this Democrat case.